Hi, friends and foes alike.
We're showing off new crafts that everybody's putting together for Frost Fatales. If you guys don't know, Frost Fatales is an all-woman speedrunning marathon, and everybody participating today is going to be involved as volunteers for the event.
That's the one thing I really like about having like this whole craft day. It's just like we're still doing what a lot of Lady Arcaders is about, celebrating, you know, women in games and everything. But I definitely like celebrating this sort of very kind of nice, cozy relationship between games and crafting, which I think is a really interesting way to interface with games. And the way I always like to look at it is you're taking something that is digital and you're making it physical. And I think that's like a really interesting and powerful way of interfacing with the games that you love.
One of the things that I would do before I started is make a diagram of what I wanted to do. And obviously, this is going to be the most technical, artful thing you've ever seen with your own two eyes. Here's what I did. Really complicated, right? What that allows you to do is like really see a couple things before you actually glue anything down. So if this is your rhinestone, like this, the glue will form this like seal, like out like this from it, where like it kind of like vacuums to the edges and like flattens, and that keeps it bonded and in place. And E6000 dries like really, really, really clear. This is a trust the process craft.
Faithamus was done as a special request from the Frame Fatales leadership. They wanted to see if I could do something special for the wonderful mascot Faith. So this was entirely my own design, from sketch to pixel art. And it's really, really touching that Aalaizah wanted to recreate it in cross-stitch. You know, we're going to have like these different shades of yellow. We're going to have the purple. And then the touches of the pink and blue were like the two sort of like extras that I managed to get in there.
By the way, I got out a new color. Whoa! So
Yay.
We were working with Light Sapphire by Liquid
New
Glass
color
Gems.
has dropped.
Babe, come quick! New color dropped.
Kitty.
Oh no!
Kitty,
We see yet another part of the crafting process, which is cat sees you playing with string. Cat comes up.
Oh no, Kitty!
String.
Oh, I was gonna
Kitty,
say
bye. Long Kitty.
Bye, Kitty. I was gonna say, is this the RNG part of the run?
Yeah. Yep. This is the RNG part of the run where the cat attacks the string.
Hey, speaking of specialty floss, can I get your opinion on metallic floss?
Oh, metallic. It's so
metallic.
pretty, but it's the worst.
It's so difficult to work with. Like, it breaks so much easier than you expect floss to break, but it's so pretty when you do it right.
Crocheting is so forgiving when it comes to making mistakes. I am a person who makes a lot of mistakes. So knitting, if you lose your place in knitting, or like you make the wrong stitch, or you drop a stitch, or you add a stitch somehow, you're just gonna have to figure it out, man. And with crocheting, it's like, I just pull it out until I put it back in. So everyone has like a different way that they hold their crochet string or yarn, and I still haven't totally figured mine out. Most of the time it looks like I'm making an unkind gesture, but I really am just trying to keep the tension correct. You insert the hook under the first string and over the second one. You pull it back through, give it a twist, and then that's on your hook. And then you grab this, and I think, do I pull it through? Kelly, what are you doing? You're embarrassing yourself. No, it's fine. Basically, that allows you to form a ring that can be expanded and contracted. So when you need to finish the work, you can basically just pull it, and it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller until the gap closes.
This is a do as I say and not as I do thing. Is if you are ever quilting for some reason, you need to iron your fabric after you've sewn a seam. And there's several reasons why for that, but the most important is it makes your fabric flat. If your fabric isn't flat, it's harder to sew, and it's just kind of like the finished product doesn't look as polished. That being said, I know what I'm doing, I promise. And I'm fairly sure that this vision will work out.
And I am definitely a child of my time, so I don't like not getting something right on the first try, so having to go back and do this is like good practice for that.
Yep, I'm in that group of like, I want everything to be perfect, I want to always be perfect, and it's just not possible as a human to always be perfect. And so learning to deal with those times when things don't quite go exactly the way you planned, it's not only a good life skill, it's a good crafting skill, and it's a good speedrunning skill too. You know, getting that perfect run is always what you're aiming for. But knowing how to not fall off the cliff if you miss the jump as opposed to falling off the cliff is a decent thing to learn too.
Yep. You gotta learn your backup strats for everything.
This is a storage container. Like I said, brand new sewing machine. It has several different feet in it. This is, I think, a zipper foot. I'm not sure. I've never had to use one.
I think they're feet that go on the sewing machine to like help guide the fabric, right? These are not actual human toes or anything.
I mean, I would be very surprised if somebody was showing off human toes on a stream like this, just unabashedly, but yeah, they go on the sewing machine.
And then
It looks like chat agrees with us so far.
yes, thank goodness. I'm not going to cause a mutiny to erupt yet.
Yeah, chat, your approval is all I live for.
That's true. I live in fear of chat mutinies.
Critique, I do just want to let you know that you have inspired chat to use their toes to sew. So, that's...
Gosh.
Chat,
Safety,
please.
please.
Chat, please don't use your feet to sew.
It's too late. The feet sewing revolution is being sewn right now.
If you are sewing these on, basically you take your Snom tube and then like pretend this is
Just the phrase Snom tube
Oh,
is
yeah.
not going to make me not laugh at all. This
we're
is so
tubing.
great.
We're tubing here. You take your Snom tube and this is already stuffed at this point. And then you take the spike and you sew most of it. And then you put the stuffing under the spike and then sew like the last quarter
okay.
of it. So that way you can still shape it and you haven't over understuffed it.
That makes sense.
I also want to say that you could get Snom tube as knuckle tattoos. So just saying, free ideas for anyone in chat.
The fact that was something you were able to count out just immediately and be ready with that fact.
A fun side Jayyypeg fact. In one of my college papers, I referenced Scrooge McDuck diving into a pile of money, and I can't remember why, but it was definitely for my degree. So it was in a psychology paper. I don't know how I worked it in.
Until very recently, I was the world record holder in Microsoft Free Cell. So if anyone out there can beat 14.867 seconds to play a game of Free Cell, I challenge you, and I want to see it.
The 2 decimal points of precision on that too. Let's go.
I mean, you know, when the record is so cutthroat, all like 8 of us on the leaderboard have to have something to go for. At some point, I realized that like most of the things that I do out of spite because I learned how to play Free Cell because I was angry that I didn't know how to play Free Cell. I learned how to crochet because I was angry that I didn't know how to crochet. So like, it's a good motivator.
We've had a surprising amount of math today on stream for the crafting stream. I know we got equilateral triangles now. We were counting stitches before this. It's been interesting.
There's so much math that goes into crafting. Nobody knows. It's so... I do math during my day job too, and I cannot escape it.
It is Final Fantasy 11, according to the overlay. Oh, sorry, it's Final Fantasy 9. I'm sorry. I'm still... Oh, look.
It's good. We can't read. That's why we're speedrunners.
Reading is a thema to speedrunners. No, we don't want to read. Why are we wasting our time reading when we could be doing things?
I actually originally thought I was going to make this square, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to make it not triangular, but I think it's going to be a funky shape. We'll see.
I'll say, when you said not square, I'm expecting triangle, and then he threw the curveball out there of not triangle either, and now I don't know what to expect.
Listen, I'm tired of triangles, okay? They've hurt me too much. Triangles are not my friends.
Yeah, this is super fun, and honestly, these strats are unreal. Just so impressive. The techniques here.
I appreciate the commentary and the style of a speedrunner. I would expect nothing less.
This is definitely a powerful team of women right now.
I don't want to obstruct. Okay, Dream Tora, what is the symbol in the middle called?
What symbol?
This thingy. Does this thingy have a name?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I haven't played Birth by Sleep in like such a long time.
Oh my god!
Oh, we were really hoping you could tell us about it.
Oh my god. Okay, so like, I've never played Birth by Sleep. So I'm doing this having not played
I've only played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
I rage quit Kingdom Hearts 2 really early. Really, really early. So what do we have? Oh no.
The German name for Lickitung, for example, is Schlurp.
Slurp. I mean, that fits. I don't know any German, and it still is accurate.
Oh, the German name for Snom is Snom Nom. I love it. Oh, it's so pure.
So good.
But also, German name for Snorlax is Relaxo.
How are the names just so accurate? They're just so absolutely correct.
Wheezing. I'm gonna give you 2 for Wheezing. In French, Wheezing is Smogogo. And in German, Wheezing is Smogmog. Char, do you have a favorite Pokemon game? Are you a Pokemon kind of person?
Yes, so the Char in Char Bunny is actually from Charmander and Charizard. So like,
Excellent.
Since I was a kid making up this username, that has been a core part of my identity. So yes, absolutely.
Not Charmeleon though. The shade.
I didn't feel
The
bad about
shade.
this.
I would like to take a moment just to let everyone know that the French name for Duskull is Skelenox. And this little guy, just hanging out, just floating. Goodbye, Duskull. As someone mentioned at some point, all women want for Valentine's Day is skulls. This was a thing last year, and so I got a skull for Valentine's Day. It was very sweet.
That's adorable. Oh my goodness.
You know what? Who doesn't want some skulls?
Right? I can be on board with that.
In the most wholesome and legal way. That's very
Alright, let's clarify.
I just love the fact that whenever Rose runs any Kingdom Hearts game, the entire like chat just devolves into a sea of just that like poo butt bounce emoji. Like I often volunteer as a chat mod, and that is a blessing and a curse to just wade through a sea of poo booty for like the entire length of a run. But it's really, really great and really funny when that happens. It's a blessing. Yes, poo booty, because I have no better way. There's no good way to say that. Like, what do we want to say? Like, poo throwing it back? Like, do you want me to, like... But there's no good way. Please, someone come up with a way to try and say...
Poo cake.
Poo cake. Oh, that's terrible. One of my friends was like, oh my god, you would make such a good Larksine. And I was like... Should I be hurt? Should I have my feelings hurt at this moment? And instead I just kind of decided to embrace it. Because if I had my feelings hurt and I decided to fight, that would also just make it, like, more obvious, I think, that I was Larksining or something. I don't know if that's a verb. It's a verb now.
That's it. I'll accept it. Pico.
As you can, you've been casually go Larksining with the poo booty. Oh my god!
Pokemon with extra parts, like hand slash.
Let's clarify we're talking. Yeah, I was about to say, let's clarify what we're talking about.
Snom with shoulders and hand slash And I was
is the originator of this meme, yes.
then I was thinking about cat or needles just now, and then like cat or knees just doing more knitting. Honestly, I think that would be very wholesome for them.
They totally could though. It'd be like cool. Yeah, and it like can make its own thread too, right? Because it's a caterpillar Pokemon, so it has string shot as a move.
Oh, little silky. Oh my gosh, this is perfect. It's all coming together. Just like this snob kind of.
But this ruler is not long enough for that, which means I have to step away for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay. Chat, don't panic, Lol. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Look at the beautiful sewing machine. It has a light on it.
Chat, I'm back.
I was about to
Are
start.
you guys okay? I know it was scary without me.
I was about to start panicking.
Just gonna shrimp check because
Shrimp.
I'm shrimping over here.
Thank you for the check.
Yeah, instead of a posture check, I always say a shrimp check because there's that meme that always goes around where why does my back hurt? And then it's a shrimp at a table, so. So I'm about to get like weirdly anatomical, but so the muscles in your shoulders are actually what hold you up. So a lot of us just like let these muscles atrophy. And that's why we tend to hunch so much. Shoutouts to all the physical therapists who put up with us doing exercises and then stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're playing as Terra and you go to Neverland and you have a fight with Peter Pan, you know how the Kingdom Hearts gives you like the orders on the side of like, you know, like do this before the time runs out or whatever? For that fight, it just says put Peter in his place.
Peter.
That's great.
But, you know, Phoenix Wright is so popular. Everyone loves Phoenix Wright.
Everybody does love Phoenix Wright, except for everybody in the Phoenix Wright universe.
You're not wrong.
Definitely, if you say my name in all caps, Ahem Osborne, that I will probably first ask you what I have done to wrong you, and then I'll listen. Osborne gives me trauma every time he comes into my DMs and screams.
Whenever he does, I'm like, did I do something wrong? And then he says something completely normal afterwards. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in the clear.
Yeah.
He has big golden retriever energy.
That's a good way to
excited.
describe him. I love how we're talking about him on stream. He's omnipresent.
This has been part of an ongoing saga of me cooking breakfast for my family, which there's only 2 episodes, but they're both dumb enough that like it counts. The first was when my mom came over for the first time after I got my like own little place, and I was like, "Oh, Mom, what do you want for breakfast tomorrow? How about toast?" And she kind of internally, she told me this afterward, was like, "Really? You're telling me you're gonna cook me toast? Wow, it's so impressive." But I told her like out loud that we're in the car. It's like, "Oh, but we may need to stop by Target on the way home because I don't think I actually have everything that I need." And she's like, "What could you possibly be missing for toast?" It's like,
toast.
"Well, I don't have bread." Okay, I can see why that would be a problem. Why did you offer to make toast if you don't own bread? It's okay, Mom, we can get this. I'm also missing butter. And then I dropped the real one on her, which is, and by the way, I don't have a toaster, so we need to buy one of those too.
There are like 2 components to toast.
Yeah,
bread and heat. That's it.
In the year 1820, the first sewing machine was invented by Eleftherius Singer, and this sewing machine was powered by 500 hamsters. Prior to this time, hamsters were only found in the wild in the English county of Dorsetshire. However, Singer was able to domesticate millions of these animals for use in his machines. But modern sewing machines only are powered by 5 hamsters, which means that is a 99%, here's a little math for you, a 99% reduction in the use of hamsters. Now that's what we call environmental conservation. And so yeah, you don't see it, but there are 5 hamsters in Critique Sewing Machine right now.
They are very small. I feed them with lint. This is actually some batting. And we are going to cut it to size. We are also going to cut this to size, which means we are done with sewing machine for now. Goodbye, sewing machine. Thank you for your help. We appreciate it.
Bless you, hamsters, for your service. May you have all the lint that you desire.
I'm sorry. So you have the two, I think they're size 20s right above the heartless or the keyblade symbol, and they kind of look like eyes, and the keyblade symbol looks like a mouth.
Oh my god, it totally does. You are so right. It's looking at me. Or hold on, what if like instead of like these being like the eyes, like what if it's like these really like wide-eyed ones, and then like the little like boo-boo mouth right there? Like, what if like a little frog face?
It is an ooh mouth.
Oh my god. All right, we're gonna flip Uwu Frog upside down.
Now he's a Omo.
Omo Frog.
He looks like he's being tortured. He's not thrilled about this whole being flipped.
There was a summer where I helped out with elementary summer school in like an ESL classroom. And I don't speak Spanish that well, but I've been taking AP Spanish at the time. So it's like, yeah, it's close enough to communicate with a 4-year-old. I got this. At recess one time, it was raining and all the kids are gathered around this little worm in a puddle and just staring at it. And I went over to check that they're not trying to like eat it or anything silly, and they were fine. But this little tiny kid, in all seriousness, comes up to me and goes, "El gusano no muerde," just with the most intense expression. All that means is the worm doesn't bite. So he just wanted to let me know that it was safe, that the worm didn't bite, but like I will forever remember that phrase because it was the most adorable thing. You know, I kind of could have figured that out, buddy, but I'm so glad you thought this was important information to share.
I still am really, really weirded out by bugs, insects, that whole shtick. But I think I would have been afraid of worms biting me.
So I gotta ask that, how did you end up deciding on Snom, first as a gift and now as a bonus crafting creation, given the potential aversion to worms and bug type things, given this is a bug type Pokemon?
Snom is just a guy. Have you seen Snom? Have you looked at Snom?
Can't argue with that logic.
Can we see Uwu Frog the correct one
Yes!
real quick?
Yes! The return of
Tora,
Uwu
if you
Frog.
want to go ahead and make your
Final
shout
shout out to Uwu Frog.
There he is, the boy. The lad. The Uwu Frog. The
boy.
goat. Here's that boy.
All bugs are just little guys. You know what? Quote for the ages.
I will have to step away again, chat. Don't get too scared without me. I know it is scary. Sewing machine scary. Quilting scary. Math scary. I'll be right back.
Oh gosh, Happy Bear, are you still there? You haven't abandoned me, right?
I have not abandoned you. I'm right here with you, Char. No need to panic.
I'm virtually holding your hand right now, please.
Yes, I'm holding your hand virtually.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was real scary without me, but I'm back, and I have a treat if I can get it open. It doesn't seem to want to open. It looks like a big bag of cotton candy.
I love Dark Souls speedruns. I am so... if you're in the Frost Fatales Discord and you're in the RPGs channel, you know how I feel about Ornstein and Smo. I am hot garbage at Dark Souls games, but I could watch those speedruns endlessly. So, Soup% Dark Souls 2. It's gonna be great.
And then the Chaos Emeralds from Sonic and the Hedgehog. Sonic and the Hedgehog?
That's the correct way to say it, yes.
That's
his
what?
full name.
Please, that's his legal That's his legal name.
Sonic
and the Hedgehog is
Yes.
his gamer name.
It's his gamer tag.
Other than that, the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise randomizer, I always enjoy that.
That one's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, I know that's a pretty robust community. They've got a lot of races that go on. I think it's a co-op run this time, so it's just going to be good stuff.
Critique, I think for next year's Frost Fatales Crafting Day, I want to see you sewing upside down, where you are sewing with your feet and using the foot pedal with your hands. I think that would be really impressive and, you know, kind of symbolic of how the Lady Arcaders kind of like to shake things up, you know?
That would be incredibly impressive, but unfortunately, I don't have the manual dexterity in order to do that, Happy Bear.
Well, we need to find you some automatic dexterity then.
Let's see. Let's get this lined up.
I don't think that's how dexterity works, but I don't think I can prove you wrong either.
You know, everything I know about dexterity comes from Dungeons and Dragons, so take that for what you will.
My real life dex score, not my Pokemon dex score, is like maybe 3 in D&D terms. Like, I don't know what my modifier is, but it's not high.
Video games IRL, no. I guess that one's not such a video game, it's just a tabletop game. But games IRL. That's kind of the theme of today's stream, though, right? Bringing the games into the real-life 3D world.
If you think that a craft might be interesting, just go do it. Just go try the thing. Start small, and then see if you like it. Drink V8 energy, and listen to good music. I think is like...
Yep.
Also, if you're buying yarn or thread or even some floss in some occasions, make sure you buy the same dye lot because colors will not match, and that's important.
This is true.
Yeah.
Make sure you have the craft material you need plus just a little bit more.
Yes. and don't worry too much about building up that stash. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Mhm.
Don't worry about it.
I noticed that we opened the sewing machine at some point while switching over.
I was actually looking for my seam ripper. It doesn't seem to be inside my sewing machine, but a lot of new sewing machines have like... All right, let me explain this function real quick.
I can't even get a dress with pockets, and you're telling me your sewing machine has pockets? I'm jealous.
I know. Well, clearly the answer is use that new sewing machine to make a dress with pockets.
You're not wrong.
I'm gonna say that rhinestoning is like a trust the process craft because like it looks like a gluey mess on my side. And it's not. And I know it's gonna look good at the end, but like the emotional damage that rhinestoning does to you as you work with it is excruciating. It's definitely,
I think that's all craft.
yeah, it is 100% like trust the process because like I've definitely made things where halfway through I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever made in my entire life. I'm so upset. And at the end I'm like, never mind, I'm a god.
That's pretty much my feelings as an artist when I'm like working on a picture. I'm like, oh, this is such a terrible... Oh, actually, it's not bad after all. It's like a roller coaster of emotions.
It 100% is.
I don't know how many people saw it earlier, but Jayyypeg's Aqua's Wayfinder pendant I was host for, and that was a lovely time, but like, you don't see how much effort goes into these crafts until like you are physically doing them.
Well, that does bring us to the end of our showcase today. Thank you everyone who watched from the beginning, who joined in partway, seeing all of these wonderful crafts being made so that they could be submitted again as prizes for that upcoming Frost Fatalis showcase. That is a week-long marathon starting February 26th, running through March 4th on the Games Done Quick channel.
I don't know, trainer. It sounds like you have the start of an art installation.